Okay, I just woke up from watching the Google Pixel 4 event, and I've got some thoughts. I've got some thoughts about what we saw, so let's discuss. Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back again. I hope you'll do all of those things again and again and again. At any rate, let's talk about the Google Pixel 4. Let's talk about this whole event. First off, I want to say that the Google events are some kind of special kind of boring. They're boring in the same way that like a safety lecture in at work is. They're like, oh my god. They are. And here's another question. Why do Google events always look like they're being staged in an IKEA? It doesn't make any sense. But they did announce some stuff, so let's walk through what they announced, and then we'll get into some details about the Pixel 4. The first thing they announced, the Pixel Buds. Some new wireless Pixel Buds. They come in a case that kind of looks like an AirPods case. They themselves are little nubs that go inside your ears. Supposedly have good isolation, good seal in there, but also will allow you to hear things from the outside world, which is great, I guess. Talked about some kind of bone conduction microphone that will pick up sounds from your bones. I don't know. They looked good. They looked cool. There's only one thing that matters about the Pixel Buds, the sound. And we won't know what they sound like until spring of 2020, which means it's 6 months away, maybe more. Who knows? So kind of disappointing that they would start off the event with an announcement of a product that won't be available for 6 months. They also went on to talk about their new Pixel Book, the Pixel Book Go. Why does everybody have a device that goes? I don't understand it. So, Pixel Book Go. It's cheaper than the Pixel Book, which it was $1,000. The Pixel Book Go is $650 with M3, M5, M7 chips. Not much of a device, really. Not much of a device. And I still can't figure out why an everyday person would have a use for a Chromebook like this. Maybe you can explain to me down in the comments why Chromebooks would be worthwhile in 2019. They also talked about Google Stadia a little bit, although they didn't show any games or anything like that. They just said it's coming on November 19th, so we have a little bit more than a month to wait for Google Stadia to appear. I am not really that optimistic about Stadia, but we'll have to see. I mean, online video gameplay has gotten a lot better. Apple Arcade has shown that it can be better. Nvidia has some great online gaming support, so we'll just have to see how Stadia is. But I haven't really looked into it all that much. I don't know what games are going to be on it. I don't know what the pricing is of it. They went on to talk about the Nest Home Mini, or the Nest Mini, which used to be the Google Home Mini and the Google Home Max. Home Hub Max, which is a big screen with bigger speakers, I guess. And also they announced some new and improved Google Wi-Fi stuff that's supposed to be faster. And the Google Wi-Fi, the router actually doubles as a speaker. So you can have a speaker and you can talk to it and all those different kinds of things. Yeah. Supposedly the Nest Mini is supposed to sound better than the Google Home Mini, which would be a nice improvement since the Google Home Mini sounded like garbage, and they were touting it as like a whole home audio solution, which just no. But now let's move on to the event that we all tuned in to. This friggin' eyeball scratching out boring presentation was all about the announcement, the unveiling of the Google Pixel 4 and the Google Pixel 4 XL. Although I don't think they mentioned the 4 XL by name at any place in the whole thing. They showed the pricing of the 4, $799 to start, which is not a price that I think is appropriate for this device. I've said it in other videos. I'll say it again. $799 is too expensive. $700 is probably fine. Even $749 would be better. But $799 to start for 64 gigabytes, $899 for 128, and then $899 to start for the XL model, and $999 for the XL with 128 gigabytes of storage. That is too expensive in my mind. And again, I made a video about this. I'll link it someplace. If Google hopes to capture a market share whatsoever in any way, shape, or form, then they needed to be more competitive on price. If you said iPhone 11 at $699 or Google Pixel 4 at $799, I would tell you to go to the iPhone 11 all day long. Now, that's not to say that the Pixel doesn't have some features over and above what the iPhone 11 offers, because there are definite improvements. There are things that are very interesting about the phone. Whether or not those interesting things play out to be something that actually matters or not, we'll just have to wait and see. I didn't hear anybody mention this, so I'm going to mention it. There's no fingerprint sensor on the Google Pixel phone anymore. They have a face recognition chip. It's radar. They put radar in the phone, and so that gives you the ability for motion sensing stuff as well as Face ID. The phone can sense you when getting closer to it, so the always-on display will be off, and then you get closer to it, and the display comes on. When you pick it up, it's going to know that you've picked it up. It's much more spatially aware than other cell phones. And then there are gestures where you can, like, turn pages with your hand. I don't know why this is preferable to this. It's not. There's no reason to have these gestures. My friend Greg of Gregos TV did mention in the chat during my live stream that maybe in the kitchen that would be useful, because you got your hands all like goopy with chicken grease and you need to turn to the next page of the menu or something. I don't know. I'm not totally convinced that motion sensing interface is going to be something that is really all that useful. Maybe it will be, but right now it doesn't seem like it will be. They announced some improvements to the Google Assistant. A, it's got a new look to it. B, it seems to be much faster on the Pixels than it has been in the past. And one thing that enables is with their new recorder software, you can actually be at an event or taping a lecture or dictating into your phone or whatever, and you can get real-time live transcription right there on the phone as you talk. And then when that's done, you can have a transcript of, so that makes the recorder much more valuable than just having various recordings all over the place that are difficult to keep track of. And if you search these recordings, and this was the thing that I thought was really impressive, if you search your recordings for a particular word, like the example they gave in the event was pixel. So if you search pixel, it will not only show you all of the recordings in which you said the word pixel, but it'll show you where you said pixel along the timeline of the audio recording. Google Assistant can now, sort of more carry on a conversation, so you could sort of give it command after command after command, building on one another. So it looked really good. Google Assistant looks like it's taken a step forward. Moving on to the actual hardware of the phone, I thought it was actually pretty good looking. I like the different colored edges. It's aluminum, not stainless steel. The different colored edges along the side. So it's there's a black and white one, white being the predominant color. There's an orange and black one, and then there's a black on black with a white button. And I don't really care for the orange color. It's not something for me. But both the white and the black looked really good. So the Pixel 4 has a 5.7-inch Full HD Plus 444 ppi display. For all of you out there who are like, I need Quad HD or whatever on my phone, then the Pixel 4 doesn't have it. Pixel 4 doesn't have it, which is fine, as a screen that size doesn't need like Quad HD or 4K or any of that kind of stuff. But if you do want that, you can move over to the Pixel 4 XL, which has a 6.3-inch display that is Quad HD and has 537 pixels per inch available on that display. It's HDR compliant, which is cool, and I think maybe the biggest thing, people will get excited about this, but I really don't think it's that big a deal. They announced that it has a 90 hertz refresh rate, and it's a variable refresh rate. So when you need 90 hertz, it'll go up to 90 hertz. When you don't need 90 hertz, it'll go down to 60, I assume. It's a variable refresh rate, which hopefully will help with battery, but who knows. Speaking of battery, the Pixel 4 has a 2800 milliamp hour battery, while the Pixel 4 XL has 3700 milliamp hours. Now, those are small numbers compared to some of the competition, and I'll be interested to see how battery life ends up working on these Pixel phones. It's Google's own flavor of Android. I assume it can be optimized in a better way than some of the other secondary OEMs might offer. So maybe it'll be better on the battery life. We'll just have to wait and see. But those are small batteries for a 2019 smartphone. Other specs that you might be interested in: 6 gigabytes of RAM for this thing, 64 and 128 gigabytes of storage, as I said before. Snapdragon 855, not the 855 Plus, fine. Stereo speakers, dual SIM, for those of you who are looking for the dual SIM. Gorilla Glass 5, that aforementioned face unlock, and again, no fingerprint. No fingerprint unlock. IP68 dust and water protection. So it's all the things that you would expect from a smartphone in the 2019. The last thing we need to talk about, the thing that most people care about the most in the Pixel lineup, is the camera. Did they bring the noise with the camera? And I'm going to say yes. They have improved the camera. There's 2 lenses now. There's a telephoto and a wide angle. And they did a lot of discussion about their computational photography and how you can do different things. You can do a dual exposure kind of stuff in there to get different kind of looks for the same photo. They showed off a silhouette photo as well as one that was front lit. So that was very cool. There's a lot. I mean, I think that the camera is going to be good again, just like always. But did it do enough to retake the crown of best smartphone camera from the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max? We'll just have to wait and see. There will be buku camera comparisons, I am sure. But the camera itself does look like it's improved. They've not necessarily changed the game by adding another lens, but it gives what was already there more options. So, of course, the camera is looking good. And that's really about it. I won't really be able to say anything about the camera until I have the phone in my hands. I won't really be able to say anything about the screen or anything else until I have the phone in my hands. But my first impressions, just from watching the event, are that the Pixel 4 and Pixel 4 XL are good-looking devices. I'm sure they're going to function well. It seems like they got the screen thing worked out. They said that they got the highest DxO Mark score. I mean, how high does the DxO Mark score go? I mean, everybody just keeps getting the highest ever. But it sounds like they paid some attention to hardware, and maybe we won't have the screen problems. Hopefully we won't have software problems. Google has to get this right. If they want to have a chance to be any kind of player in the market, they have to get this right. And just off the first impressions of this event, it looks like they are, in fact, doing so. But the proof will be in the pudding. Anyway, let me know what you thought of the event down in the comments below, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try my best to answer them. Once again, I really do appreciate you being here. If this was the first time you've been here and you want to come on back again, like, subscribe, bell notify yourself. And if you've been here before, thank you ever so much for coming back. We got a join button for memberships on the channel. If you want to be a member of the Painfully Honest Tech crew, the Wizard Squad, then hit that button and find out what kind of perks are being offered down there below this video. Anyway, to recap, my name is Jason. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.